Hey, what's up, Jackson? Everybody from around the world. Jackson and I tried to do this about a week and a half ago. Had a really, for me, a good conversation with somebody else that's dealing with suicide, mental health, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, or multiple personality disorder, PTSD, whatever the mental health issue is right now. This is kind of my brief story, is that I've suffered TBIs. I've had some severe attachment issues. I've had some very severe trauma bonds in my life. And it's taken me a very long time to process a lot of that. And the only way that I was fortunate enough to be able to do this is because I was unsuccessful at an attempt at suicide. Fortunately, a decade later out, it's still something that's very prevalent, thought-wise, daily. Once you survive, it's different. My story is a little different. I had the life. I mean, I had wife, kids, job. I mean, I had it. I had what the American dream is supposed to be, should be. Trash. Dr. Pepper. So yeah, I mean, I conformed to society standards the best that I could, and I couldn't find the contentment in that for some reason. It wasn't a bad marriage, great kids, everything. It was me. It was trauma from decades before that was brought into a relationship, marriage, kids, divorce, marriage, bonus kids, divorce. So it's not everybody else. It has been me. And 2007, 2008, I think it was, I was over it. Like, I was literally over it. And I say it was life. Like, I didn't want to reach out because I was so embarrassed of how shitty I was feeling. I felt embarrassed, ashamed, angry, all of that, because I couldn't put my finger on what and why. It was, I mean, people were giving me diagnosis for every litany of mental illness you can think of. And I could not accept it. It was hard for me to accept those labels. Years later, yeah, some of them I can accept. Some of them. Not all of them. So, 2008, I took all my medication that was prescribed to me and swallowed it. Just laid on the couch and was done. I was literally done, ready to check out. I'm over it. It's over. I hadn't. The hardest part to explain is it's not like there's not feelings. It's because there are. But they're so numb. It became for me an inability for my body to deal with the amount of pain that I was feeling because of what I could not figure out in life, which was why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. Long story short, I went to the grocery store, got food, everything was fine. I got home and I'm like, I can't do this. I took every pill that I had, and we're talking pills for anxiety, depression, sleep, mania. I'm missing one. I don't know. I could. I don't know. At this point, it's 6:30 in the morning, and it's Friday, and I've been going hard, so I'm tired. And that's part of it. Is couldn't do that push anymore. I could not push. I could not see what the goal was. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. I didn't understand why I couldn't. So I took the pills, and I took the pill cases. I put them all the way out in the dumpster. I didn't leave a note. I was done. Next thing I remember is feeling a really stiff and hard push on my chest. And I remember somebody saying, Josh, I need you to cough. So I coughed, and I could just feel, and it was a breathing tube coming back out of my mouth. And I came to, and the only way I can describe it is like, if you can just imagine being them, if you've done drugs, alcohol, whatever, just that peak is where I was at. And when I looked at my parents, because they were there by the bed, I tried to apologize. I tried to, like, if you thought you felt shame and embarrassment and all those feelings before, imagine waking up and realizing, like, I'm not even good enough to fucking kill myself. That's where I was at mentally. And I came to, I kept trying to apologize. It was, like they said, they couldn't understand. It was just slurred, horrible speech that didn't make sense. And to me, it was how sorry I was. I'm ashamed. I can't believe I did this. Next thing I know, this is probably the next day. Wife doesn't want to see me, rightfully so. Who the fuck would? I guess that's my take on it. Kids needed to be sheltered from that, and I think we're, to an extent. It's hazy for me. I don't remember a whole lot. So that's it. And then the next thing I know, the next day is I'm talking to, I think it was a psychiatrist or a counselor, that everybody felt it was in my best interest to move in with my parents. So that's where I was at. So that's the attempt. And then a decade later, 2 divorces. I could probably literally fit everything I have in the back of my car. But the things I have is family. Huge. I have a support system. I typically follow an extreme regimen, which has helped me tremendously. Medication wise, I am literally on gout medication right now. And cannabis has played a huge part in my recovery. And that's because it gives me the ability to process through the trauma, process through the feelings, like actually be able to feel. Because I think that's the hardest thing for some people to understand, is like mental health and mental illness is not always crazy. A lot of times it's numb, and that's when it's scary. So I've had to learn how to experience feelings again, which have been extremely frustrating for me. And I think that's the other side of it. Like, everybody sometimes only focuses on the illness and not... person's almost ready to get run over by a truck. That's why you follow the lights, lady. I warned you were going to get real, Jackson. Haven't cursed yet. So that's it, folks. I just hope that you follow. You know you're loved. Just know you're loved. I've got family. I've got an extreme support system, and I'm successful, and that's the main thing. So, Jackson, thanks for letting me do this. Wheeler, keep doing big things. it's a good time. Thanks.